So in this one, I was in my room, and again I was this big fluffy dragon, which was fine. I'm pretty used to that body now, and honestly I almost prefer it. I even got the cool cowboy hat and the tail bag that Rebazar bought me in the last experience, so that was cool. Anyways, I heard someone downstairs, which is weird because I don't live with anyone. So I walked downstairs, and you're not going to believe this, it was Duane, like the great writer, specifically you. He was just sitting there on my couch. And I was like, hey man, it's me, Eric. And he was just like, yeah, I know. I asked if he was here for lunch. He said no. But then I got distracted because I noticed my birds were there in their cage again. And for context, if people aren't aware, I got some birds a couple months ago because Duane said I should talk to birds to become more aware. But two of them died for some reason. I figured that maybe it was something with their food, so I let the other one go from its cage so it could hunt, but it never came back. But in this experience, they were all there in their cage. I asked Duane, like, did you do that? My birds are alive again. And Duane nodded. So I thanked him, and I was so excited to see my birds again. I mean, I kind of figured they'd be afraid of the dragon, but they didn't look scared. Then Duane got up from my couch and walked up to the bird cage and opened it. The birds didn't immediately fly out, which was kind of like when I let the last one out to hunt. But then Duane grabbed one of them with his hand, like grabbed it. And then before I could say anything, the dude set the bird down, like on the bottom of the cage, and literally pulled out a knife and stabbed the bird against the floor of the cage. I was like, bro, what is your problem? And he just kind of started singing the New You. Then he just like quickly grabbed one of the other birds, did it again. And at this point I was like furious. I took a step towards Duane, and I think I was growling, but I felt someone behind me pull on my tail and stop me, which is kind of really uncool to do. I turned around, and it was Germa, one of the real guys that Rebazar introduced me to. I was like, why are you stopping me, man? You killed my birds. And Duane said something like, you're too literalized, Eric. Look at the birds. They have awareness. And I looked at the birds, and they were still dead and bleeding everywhere in the cage. But then Duane said, they're free now. And I looked back at Germa. He was nodding his head. I kind of didn't know what to do. I just wanted the experience to end at this point. It was awful. Then Duane started singing the New You again, and I kind of started to get it. My feelings about my birds were my feelings. That doesn't really matter to what's real, the is and stuff. I said sorry to Duane and Germa, and that was the last thing I remembered from it when I went to write it down.
Yeah, that was very good too. So again, the real side dream experience is always exaggerated, just like you're in the dragon body, etc. And that's more of the physical. So when I suggested that you talk to the birds, you know, that's a fun thing to do. Kids do that, etc. Wasn't really meant to buy birds and put them in cages. Okay, and so what I was showing you in that experience, killing the birds, is that you're killing them by keeping them in the cage. You see? But you took it personally, thinking that, and I've known people that, very close people that had birds in cages, and you, again, like Phil's experience and what he sees and what you see. Now imagine yourself as a bird in a cage. All you see is bars. You may as well be dead. So that's the idea, set them free. So that was a little dramatic, but the birds are not dead, no, because they're awareness. But the idea is that, no, the idea is not to buy birds and put them in cages because you're making them prisoners, and all they do is see bars all day long. You know, there's some really good documentaries on, especially parrots. That people get exotic parrots from other countries. And at first, the parrots are kind of cool, whatever, but after a while, they get really pissy and even bite the owners. Psychologically, they go nuts because they're in these cages, but people think it's really cute. And actually, there's places that, there's one in Costa Rica. This fella, he, uses therapy, does a therapy on birds that have been in cages and whatever, and gets them back into the wild. And so again, like Phil's experience, you two have parallel experiences. You're seeing what people do and how they're thinking and how they ruin everything, etc. So we've grown up with this nonsense, but we don't have to live with it. We've got to deal with it a lot. But again, that was the idea. No, I didn't kill the birds. You were killing them. That's why the bird died when in the cage and the other one left, etc. You open the door and the other one left because they know that they're in a cage. And no, they don't like that at all. Yeah. But again, that's how we've been brought up, Eric, thinking that, oh, we got this little animal here. He's in a cage or whatever. And it's like people will have cats and they keep them in the house. It's like, oh, I don't want my cat to get hurt or whatever. And that cat is sitting there at the window all day long looking out the window because it wants to get out. And people, the human consciousness, how it has been set up, there's so much nonsense going on with it. People just don't see that. They don't see what's really taking place because we've been bred and indoctrinated and programmed to this social structure that's destroying the planet. And it's time to wake up. Because again, future lifetimes, and they're coming up fast. Yeah, so that's the idea there. But your personal side came in on that. See, you want to recognize that personal side where it's like, oh, you're killing my birds. But no, the birds weren't dead. That was just demonstration. There were no birds there. Yeah, but it seemed so. And just like Phil's experience, he didn't kill somebody. That was just a demonstration. It was all a setup. So just like a movie, it's all acting.
So my birds were never real?
The birds that you had were physically what they were. Okay, this is on the real side showing you that no, the idea is not to get birds and put them in cages. That's what's killing them.
Oh, so you didn't kill them, the cage killed them.
No, the cage didn't kill them. No,
wait, no.
There. That was just like a movie.
Oh.
But it refers to your physical side, what you did in the physical. It's another wake up for you. You bought some birds. You misunderstood what I said about talking to the birds. So you bought some birds. And like you said, one of them died and whatever, because again, they're prisoners. Just like, I see people, the Mexicans here have horses here. And I used to ride horses with my mom when I was very, 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 very young, 6, 7, 8 years old. We used to ride when we lived in Los Angeles. Now I wouldn't ride a horse again. The saddles, all the equipment that these horses have on, it's brutal. It's all freaking nonsense. When I see the horses out there in the fields, that's how they should be. Yeah, all this nonsense, and they're usually in stalls and cages or whatever. They're just kept, and again, they're prisoners. And this is what people do to animals. They make them prisoners. They got a little hamster, they put them in a cage, whatever, a snake. They make them prisoners. So the idea is that when you physically bought the birds, you bought prisoners. And you see the end result of that. And this experience is showing you that, no, that's not the idea. You were killing them. Yeah. Because they are.
I kill my birds.
Yeah, they are awareness. Yeah.
I love those.
Well,
hey man, I'm really sorry for your loss.
Thanks.
You didn't lose anything. They're fine. So the thing being is they just go into another body type. So that was the body.
I was really worried for a second that I had killed them. I'm glad that wasn't the case, though.
No. So again, you have to see how this works, Eric. Again, as you become more aware, you're shown things to give you an alternate view from the view that you've been programmed with. Just like Rebazar grabbed your ear and said, no, we're not going to go to In-N-Out Burger because that's where you're programmed. We're going to go do something different. You see? Break up your programming.
Burger King.
Yeah. That's why I write like I do, and people think, oh, gee, what's this guy writing? Well, the thing is that it's to break up the literal mind from its patterns of being self-contained and trapped and taplined by reptilians.
The evil reptilians, right?
Yeah,
I'm a
and
good
there's a lot,
reptilian.
yeah, then there's a lot of them. They rule the planet, and they don't give a damn about humans. They'll kill you because they know you're going to be back unconscious in another body, and they're going to control you again. You got tap lines all over you. So again, a step at a time, trying to help people wake up. And it's radical, it's different. And to that programmed mind that you have, it's like, oh, gee, this is weird, this is strange, why am I doing this? Well, it's to give you alternate views. Again, like Phil's experience. He's getting the animal creature view as to what's going on, and he's even, in the action movie of like, hey, you're destroying my environment, I'm going to destroy you. And that's exactly how the animals feel, you know. But they don't have recourse lots of times because people have cars, they have guns, they have machinery, etc. Seen many films like in Africa where they mow things down and whatever, and the gorillas, the apes, the monkeys, whatever, they're all sitting there and there's like no trees left. What are they going to do? Yeah, their environment's just totally destroyed. And if people would, like the indigenous people, live off the environment as it is and not destroy it, but let it recycle, then it becomes better and better. But as it's destroyed, it becomes worse and worse, which it has. So pretty soon the world's all concrete and buildings and glass and whatever steel, and that all rots and cracks and whatever, and pretty soon you got nothing because that's where it's going. Cars that pollute, asphalt that, when the sun hits it, everything's poisoned because of the fumes, etc. The reptilians have set up the so-called petroleum fuel purposely because it dumbs down people just like fluoridated water. So when that sun's out there at 100 degrees, those roads are fuming with fumes that intoxicate people, etc., keep them dumbed down like so many other things like Wi-Fi, etc. Yeah, it's all to dumb you down and keep you stupid and keep you programmed. So
I
it's
thought
wake up.
fluoride was for the pineal gland.
Yeah, that too. It affects the pineal gland, affects everything. And it's no joke because it's in everything. Yeah, and it's getting worse. It's wake up time. So again, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to show people how to wake up. And there will only be a few. And there's going to be a lot of radical things going to be happening on this planet because of what's taking place in the consciousness. So I'm just trying to prepare people, because when it's happened, people will panic and they won't know what to do and they won't listen. They'll just start jabbering and screaming and whatever, etc., and even killing each other, just like in the movies. It will happen. Yeah, and it's coming up because everything is getting worse very fast. So again, got the books there. I've got the groups on Facebook all over 3,000, 4,000 groups, plus everything else. So, it's time to just study. And then the biggest thing is do the new you and watch your real side experiences, just like you. Show them how to do that. And that starts from there because as they do the new you, the real guys will come in and start helping them wake up. And it's a big wake up, and it's time to do it. But if you don't, you're just going to deal with all the effects this world's going to throw at you because they're not stopping. This is their entertainment, to watch people suffer. That's how it is. That's their entertainment. There are recordings of this. Kevin's got them. And so direct him to Kevin Smith also and listen to some of the experiences to start to catch on to this. It takes a little bit, but just give it time. It's a lot. But as you learn to understand it, you'll see it's very informative, and you'll start to be more aware of what's going on in this world, because most of the stuff you don't see, and you've been here many times before, struggled with it. Now you have an opportunity to get through it all together into real universes beyond creation. But that's a big step, and it really takes time. But you at least have the opportunity right now, and it's how far you go with it. So